Vision dreams of passion, and all the while I think of you. A very strange reaction. The more I see, the more I do. Something like a phenomenon, baby. Telling your body to come along, but white lines blow away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the third installment of what is a delayed Twisted Tuesday for obvious reasons, with Tuesday being Blackout Tuesday across all of North America, with me and Malcolm following suit, as well we should, with everything that's going on, the social unrest and racial inequality that's been going on with the United States of America and Canada for that matter for way too long. And I think it's great that everybody's speaking out towards it and finally getting an end to it. What about yourself?
Yeah, it feels wrong to talk about anything other than what's going on in America right now and how their so-called leader is acting cowardly and childish. But this isn't a political podcast, it's a sports podcast, so we'll continue to cover what's going on in the sporting world and what athletes have to say and what public figures have to say about the protests going on right now, even as we speak, what's going on. But for the time being, we're going to just jump into something a bit different this episode. What are we going to do today, Jacob?
Yeah, like before we say that, Malcolm, I like to say that we like to keep things light here on Unfinished Business, try and make everybody have an escape to what reality is right now with everything going on. So as me and Malcolm like to bring out, we usually like to joke around, have fun, poke fun at each other for the half an hour that we're on. So hopefully we'll be able to take you guys out of this very troubled world right now and put a smile on you guys' faces for half an hour to an hour with this intriguing episode of the Unfinished Business Podcast. Today, we have ourselves the NHL Draft Simulator due to Gary Bettman's glorious words of having an NHL Draft June 26th. So how we're going to conduct this is that we have an NHL Draft Lottery Simulator riled up for you guys to go. We'll have the top 7 teams as well as the remaining 24 based on regular season points percentage. So to keep in all fairness, we're going to do only the top 7 because that is what we know we're going to be in the lottery. So we don't know the rest, the remaining 8 teams that will be in it. So we will only be doing the top 7. I'm sure we'll be doing a top 15 once the lottery comes out with the actual order. But until then, we are going to get it going. So here we go. We have Tankathon sponsor. I wish we're sponsoring this, but they're not. But 2020 NHL Draft Lottery Simulator. You ready? Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, let's go.
So, for the viewers that are not watching on YouTube right now, the picks 1 through 7 are as follows. We'll start at 7 just to keep things interesting. Number 7, the Buffalo Sabres will not be moving for number 7. Number 6 is the New Jersey Devils, which will not be moving. Number 5, the Los Angeles Kings. They slide down from number 4. Number 4 is the Ottawa Senators via San Jose, who slide down from number 3. The Anaheim Ducks move up to number 3, moving up 2 spots from number 5. The Detroit Red Wings slide out of the number 1 overall pick to fall back to number 2, which will spark some serious outrage if this happens. And number 1 Canadian team, Malcolm's boys. He's repping the shirt today. It's the Ottawa Senators.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go alternate who picks for which team. So one person's either going to have even numbers and one person's always going to have odds. But for that first overall pick, I have a Euro here, and I'm going to flip it, Jay. And if you can see, this is heads. It's I don't know if you can see, the lighting's awful, but on the heads is the number 2, and it says Euro. And on the back seems to be, I wish I knew what this was, but it's like a figure, almost like a cross-like figure. But can you see that? Yeah, that's better to see.
We'll just say, let's keep it moving.
Okay, yeah, heads or tails?
I'll call in the air, throw it up. Heads.
It is tails.
It's the Madden curse. You gotta pick tails every time.
Just
what do you want? Do you want the odds or you want the evens?
Well, this is the lineup here, huh? I want the evens.
So with the evens, Malcolm will be choosing the picks for Detroit Red Wings, his hometown Ottawa Senators, and the New Jersey Devils. So me and myself will get the number 1 overall selection. So with the number 1 overall pick in the 2020 NHL draft, the Ottawa Senators will select from the Rimouski Oceanic Mr. Alexis Lafreniere, left winger from Canada. No question, best player in this draft.
Yeah.
Coming off a very 112-point season, a 105-point season with the Rimouski Oceanic, coming off a solid under-20 World Junior Hockey Championship. He's going to be an absolute stud in this league, no question about it. I just hope that none of these guys have to play in tournament snag this number 1 overall seed because it's going to be ridiculous. And him in Ottawa is going to be – he's the next Alfredson.
Yo, I totally agree with that statement.
Next Alfredson. And then he's going to be playing – and the young core they're going to be building it out. I'm sure you know better than I do.
Oh,
But Colin White, Logan Brown, Shabbat,
their
Kachuk.
goalie,
Could you
Philip
imagine
Gustafson.
their first line? Kachuk, Lafreniere, and possibly Logan Brown.
And then their defense, Thomas Chabot, Josh Norris, and their future goaltender, Philip Gustafson.
Oh, and you can't forget about the stud himself. What's his name?
The future is bright. The future is
Oliver
bright.
Brandstrom,
Oh, my goodness.
the stud himself.
This team, I'm telling you, in a few years, they're going to be some Stanley Cup. No, I'm giving it a few years. Obviously not like 2 or 3 years, but they're going to be a Stanley Cup contender, I think.
Absolutely.
So that means I get a pick number 2 overall. The Detroit Red Wings with the second overall pick in the 2020 draft will select Quinton Byfield from the Sudbury Wolves in the OHL. And Quinton Byfield, I think he's just an absolute monster. He's 6'4", 214 pounds.
Could you imagine being 6'4", 215 as a 17-year-old?
No,
Like
I couldn't even explain.
The Billet family,
20 years old.
How much money would they have to spend on groceries? I'm like 135 pounds soaking wet. That's like an extra 85 pounds to get to. I don't know.
Yeah,
Good for him.
This guy, he's been compared to the likes of Evgeny Malkin. So when you get him compared to someone like that big Russian scorer, that's pretty impressive. He had 82 points in 45 games last year with Sudbury. And in the World Juniors, I feel like he was underused. Like, he was not utilized to his fullest potential. He had 1 point in 7 games, but still making that World Juniors roster is quite an accomplishment. And some scouts in the for the NHL say that you see a player that has the potential to be a big top-line center in the NHL. He shows great leadership and character, and he's the kind of player any team would love to have. So not only is a big guy who's able to score and make his teammate pass to his teammates and put up a lot of points, but he's also a team-first type of guy. So I think that's a great addition to
a PR
Detroit.
guy. Eh?
I'm just saying to Detroit too. They need something to spice it up there. Their record that last year was just horrendous. They're gonna get
abysmal.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, but they need someone like Quinton Byfield to put some size on the roster and put some skill on the roster as well.
Absolutely. I think that like a formidable line you're going to be seeing in the future is Byfield and Zadina.
Yeah.
What a beautiful 1-2 combination. You know, Byfield's a great two-way forward, and Zadina's got that wicked wrist shot, snap shot for him. I think I see Quinton Byfield being more of an Anze Kopitar kind of player. He can play both ends of the ice very well. He's big. I'm sure he'll be able to win some faceoffs during his NHL career. But he had a very good Hlinka Gretzky Cup last summer. Had 5 points in 5 games, scored an amazing in between the legs goal out front. And I think he's going to be an absolute stud. You know, Detroit needs that right now. Him and Larkin are going to be a great 1-2 combination. So, yeah, great pick by you. Hats off. So, number 3 is the Anaheim Ducks. I get the lovely pick. And I think we're going to look at the heir to Ryan Getzlaf with this pick. And it's going to be from Germany. I have Tim Stützle. He plays every position from what I've been reading of right now. He plays for Adler Mannheim in the German league. He's just turned 18. Doesn't have the best numbers, but his overall stature, 5'11", 165. He can play everywhere. He's very versatile. And I think that Getzlaf, he's getting old. They don't really have that number 2 center anymore. Jake Silverberg's still there, but he again, very depleted in that sense of the word. Their defense core is very good, so I don't see them taking Jeremy Drysdale right now. As they still have Hampus Lindholm, Cam Fowler still on the roster, and John Gibson's still there, one of the top 10 goalies in the league without a doubt. So I think number 3 is Tim Stützle.
That's a
Him
great
and
pick.
Draisaitl, baby.
That's a great pick, honestly. I thought I thought that he was gonna drop in our little sim draft here, but goes at the 3rd overall pick, so that means I had to make the 4th overall pick for Ottawa. So they already had their 1st overall pick, and you picked Lafreniere with them. With their 4th overall pick, the Ottawa Senators are going to select Marco Rossi,
Wow.
of the Ottawa 67s in the OHL. So he's a shorter guy. He's 5'9", but he's 180 pounds. He's been compared to the likes of Claude Giroux, which he's not that bad of a hockey player himself. Also from Ottawa, born in Ottawa, but Marco Rossi is born in Austria, which is pretty unique. You don't see a lot of Austrian players in the NHL. This
Good night,
last
mate.
season,
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
not
Great
Australia,
movie.
not
Oh,
Australia.
Dumb and Dumber, man. You don't remember that scene?
No, I don't.
The
I can't.
first what accent is that? New Jersey, Austria. Well then, good day, mate.
I
It's
don't
a
remember that scene.
classic.
No, but in this last season, he had 81 assists, 120 points total in 56 games.
That cannot be ignored.
He's been going off. That's why I'm picking him so high at number 4. He offers like some excellent puck control. He's very good at doing that with high speed and in traffic, and he's a hard, accurate shot with a quick release. I think he's going to be, for a shorter guy too, he's very aggressive, and that's something Ottawa is looking to build upon, like with the likes of Brady Tkachuk, having that tenacity and that grit in there. So adding the likes of Marco Rossi, and he's already played for the 67s in Ottawa, so it's not that hard to transition from downtown to the Canada area, maybe, where the
Hopefully
Senators play.
downtown when he's playing.
Yeah, hopefully, honestly. But yeah, for number 4 overall pick, Marco Rossi for Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, great pick. I think that trying to replace JG Pajot.
Yeah,
Solid, smaller stature center.
for sure.
And yeah, like Ottawa is going to be. I'm excited for Ottawa. Seriously, their young team is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Like you're gonna have hopefully a healthy Logan Brown, hopefully a healthy Colin White, Tkachuk, who's had a solid rookie season, Lafreniere possibly, and then you're gonna add your possible number 1 center in Marco Rossi.
And maybe that new downtown arena.
Maybe, yeah, cross your fingers.
Yeah.
So number 4, we have the Los Angeles
5.
Kings. Number 5.
Sorry, you're a bit twisted.
Supposed to be number 4, but fell to number 5.
Yeah.
Is the Los Angeles Kings. And with that pick, I have them taking a right winger out of the Scandinavian country, out of Sweden, is Lucas Raymond. Absolute stud of a player. Love him. Love his game. 5'10" and 165. He can light the lamp up. Plays out of Frölunda in the Swedish Elite League. Had a solid junior championship from what I thought. 4 points in 7 games, 2 goals, but very solid. That stereotypical Swedish player, can skate like the lights out, has a solid wrist shot. LA doesn't really have that winger anymore after trading Tyler Toffoli.
Yeah.
So Kopitar can use some more weapons to get around him. Dustin Brown is getting up there, obviously. Tanner Pearson is, again, not that goal scoring. They don't really have a goal scorer out again in Los Angeles anymore.
Yeah. And I think
twisted break.
I think you'll like to hear this. He's been compared to the likes of Mitch Marner. So Mitch Marner, not a bad hockey player himself, obviously. So the Kings adding him would be a huge upset.
I don't think they go defense either because, again, Drew Doughty is the backbone of that team. So I think it would send the wrong message if they try to draft his replacement. So number 5 is Lucas Raymond.
I really thought you were going to go defense there, so you kind of threw me out of whack here. But so with the New Jersey Devils, they're the 6th overall pick, but they also have 3 first-round picks this year. And they could land maybe Arizona. So you see there, Arizona has that 10th overall pick in our little simulation. But they could even land even higher, and they could have some picks, maybe 2 in the top, 7, which would be crazy. But that's very unlikely. So with the, the 6th overall pick? Oh, now you threw me off.
It is the 6th overall pick.
The 6th overall pick.
He's twisted too. It's okay. It's a two-way street.
I am going to pick. So they picked Jack Hughes last year, obviously. We all know this. I think they're going to go defense, and I think they're going to go with the defense that's supposed to go top 10 in this draft is Jamie Drysdale from the Erie Otters in the OHL. This guy's 5'11", he's 175. He's been compared to Kale McCarr, who's already
That's a pretty solid comparison.
Making a name for himself already in the NHL, and he's very young. He had 38 assists in 49 games, and then in the World Juniors, he had 3 points in 7 games. Obviously,
and he's a defenseman. 38 assists in 49 games.
his job isn't to get those points; it's to stop the offense. But he's able to put the points up as well. He's a great skater, and he can drive the play and push the pace from the back end. He's an excellent transition player as well, and he can make excellent passes. His teammates have been. He's as you can tell with 38 assists, he can make those tape passes to put his teammates in those scoring positions. And for New Jersey, I think they need to add. They had a very rough season this year. I don't think they were expected to do this bad when they added PK Subban, they had Wayne Simmons, they have Jack Hughes, and they have is Hall still on the team? I can't remember.
Arizona, buddy.
Arizona. That's where he got. I knew he wasn't. Yeah. So with all that going in, and I know they might take a goalie because their goaltender situation isn't too good right now, but I feel like that'd be too high since they have 3 picks in the first round, so they'd get a decent goalie later
Best
on.
defenseman in the draft.
Exactly. You got to take the best defenseman in the draft. I say New Jersey Devils take Jamie Drysdale.
Yeah, I think that the Jersey was terrible defensively last year.
Yeah.
But I think Will Butcher, best defenseman they have right now, doesn't really have that pairing that he really wanted. PK Subban was thrusted into that role and didn't really thrive. So you get that great right-handed shot, offensive-minded defenseman, and Drysdale with the defensive-minded Butcher. You got that great number 1 pairing. Obviously, we probably won't see that to start off, obviously, because he's a rookie. But I'm sure that's what they're looking at towards the future. So great pick. So we have the final pick in the top 7 of the lottery. It's the dreadful Buffalo Sabres. Hopefully they can turn things around next season so Jack Eichel stays there.
I hope they get a higher pick, honestly.
I know. Number 7, I think they address what is a need of theirs that they haven't addressed in previous drafts, and that is the man between the pipes in goal. And I think they take Yaroslav Askarov out of SKA 1946. I believe SKA St. Petersburg is the team name, but for whatever reason, Tankathon doesn't have that. But he is a Russian-born, 2002, just about to turn 18, June 16th. So he's fresh. He's 6'3" as a goaltender, which is amazing. He's a right-handed catch as well, which you don't really see very much in the NHL, and thrive, I should say. But he struggled mightily in the World Juniors. Actually got pulled, but I don't think it's
the World Juniors.
It's too hard to ignore what he did in Russia. At the U17s, he played 5 games, had a goals against average of 1.4, which is unbelievable. And at the under 18s, he played 4 games, had a goals against average of 1.26. I think that's crazy. And as well as playing at SK St. Petersburg as a 17-year-old, 16-year-old, he played 18 games, had a goals against of 2.45.
Jeez.
Against grown men.
Against grown men.
He is projected to go in the top 10, but as the mock draft says on Tankathon, he's projected 9th overall to Chicago, which would be a great pick because, Corey Crawford's getting up there as well. But I think Buffalo snags him at number 7 because I think they need to get a goalie of their future, and they haven't had a real good goaltender since, obviously, Ryan Miller back in their heyday about 10 years ago. But, number 7, Buffalo Sabres take Yaroslav Askarov.
That's a great pick, man.
My question to you is that we've listed our top 7. Who are you shocked that's been left off the board, and where do you think they're going to be going?
So I see.
So we're going to pull
the
big board. See
I'm trying
left.
to look. So I have 2 names here that I think that would go. Yeah. So
our top 10. Top 10.
So I see at number. So Marco Rossi, obviously he dropped to 8. I picked him up 4. I knew that was a bit of a stretch, but I think Ottawa takes him if they get If they get those 2 picks out of 3, I think they pick Lafreniere and Marco Rossi. But the 2 that I see are at number 6 and 7. So I'm going to say number 6, I'm most shocked, Cole Perfetti. And I know he's smaller than the other guy, but he's 5'10", 185 pounds. He's from the Saginaw Spirit in the OHL. He's been compared to the likes of Nick Suzuki on the Montreal Canadiens, who is not half bad himself. Obviously, he's no superstar at the moment, but he's making a name for himself, and he's thriving right now. So Cole Perfetti's pretty good. And he had 111 points in 61 games in the OHL.
Had a great under 18s as well with Quentin Byfield.
Yeah, exactly.
So does he slide to 8th overall, which would be the Montreal Canadiens if the record were to be the same?
let's say Montreal hypothetically loses
Well,
in that first round.
hypothetically wins the cup, right? Because
Yeah, they probably will. Who
come
knows?
on,
Just
give me
gonna
a
defy
break.
the odds. But at number 8, yeah, I think they're gonna have Cole Caulfield and they're gonna have Cole Perfetti, the two Coles, and they're gonna light it up with Nick Suzuki.
As well as Ryan Paling, which everybody forgets that he
Gets
is.
that Hattie against your Leafs and the shootout winner, and oh my goodness, that was quite. I did not miss that game. That's for sure. Quite the game. But yes, I think Cole Perfetti will go. If Montreal were to be there hypothetically, he would go to Montreal at the number 8 overall spot. Who do you have?
Yeah,
Who's
Alex
from this?
Holtz is a
Yeah,
absolute stud of a player. Like most of these guys are. If you haven't heard me say it about 5, 6 times, I can't think of any other word to say.
yeah.
Absolute stud. Funny story about Alex Holtz. We were playing, I believe it was NHL 18, and you know how you play like the dynasty,
Hmm.
and then you make up like you think they're made up players, like
He
for the
wasn't made up.
draft. I thought he was a made up player,
Oh,
Alex
really?
Holtz, and I drafted him because he said he was a lead, and then he turned out to be this absolute machine, like left-handed shot. He's absolute sniper, and he was quick. I think he was like 91 overall at the end of it all. But he had a great World Juniors again under 18s. Really performed very well. He is projected to go 7th overall, which would be to the Buffalo Sabres. He plays out of Djurgårdens, if I can pronounce that correctly, out of Swedish Elite League.
Yeah,
Again, he's only had 16 points in 35 games, but you have to take into account he's playing against grown men.
exactly.
So, again, it's
And
kind of hard. For the under 20 team he played last season, he
yeah.
had 47 points in 38 games.
And in the World Juniors, he had 5 points in 7 games, which is the World Juniors is the best of the best at that age. So
he's an absolute. He's going to be great wherever he goes. So I think that is going to be the biggest drop if it happens to be the right McCall. But that is our top 7. We're going to move along to the pop culture side of the podcast because we need to get some more diversity because the world right now needs more diversity. This struck me very much today. It made me feel like, holy crap, am I old? 10 years ago, June 2nd, was the Armando Galarraga 27 out perfect game, or 26 out perfect game when Jim Joyce botched the call.
that was 10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago.
No way.
Yeah, that was a real
Time
humbling
really
moment.
flies.
That was a real humbling moment.
But even since then, I remember like hearing about that and everything, and him and they wrote a book together about like how like nobody's. I forget what the book was about. They wrote a book together about what went on, and obviously he knew he made that mistake, but that was quite quite the embarrassment for him as an
Yeah,
umpire.
like there was a feature on it today or Tuesday that I watched, and I didn't know this, but Jim Joyce was the home plate umpire for the next game.
You want to stop sharing your screen here for a second so you can
Oh,
see our
yes.
beautiful faces? There we go.
Freak. But Jim Joyce was the home plate umpire for the next game. And Armando Galarraga came out to give up the lineup card, and Jim Joyce just broke down crying.
Really?
It was a crazy sight to see. And I remember the clear as day the game because it was like you don't see perfect games at all in today's baseball. Like I can only really think of one, and that was Roy Halladay in the playoff.
Yeah.
And Mark Burley, and that's it.
Yeah, you
And
don't see many.
And he was 1 out away. And he really should have got it. But yeah, 10 years ago, June 2nd was
Wow,
Galarraga.
10 years ago. I think we also have a little like fundraising effort we want to put in place. Isn't that right, Jay?
I believe you're right, Malcolm. So me and Malcolm take racism very seriously. We both come from families that have minority or come from families from different ethnicities. We're not, your predominantly white families that are accustomed to in our neighborhoods. So we thought it would be take it upon ourselves to help donate towards the cause of Black Lives Matter. So for every for every comment that we get, we are going to every comment, every screenshot that we get that is posted to our new Instagram page, ladies and gentlemen.
This is going to bring up who
Absolutely.
Jay didn't follow right away because he has no faith in this podcast. But
this is the new Instagram page. So if you want to tag us for our Instagram page when you're listening to the video or to our podcast on Spotify, YouTube, whatever the platform you want to listen to, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, whatever you want. You tag us at unfinished_business_podcast. You either tag myself, you can tag Malcolm, whatever you want. Me and Malcolm will both be donating $5 towards Black Lives Matter. Help towards this cause because it's absolutely crazy, unbelievable what's happening right now in the world. And it's taken a long time to get what we needed to get across right now. And I think it's doing a lot more than just posting a black screen on our Instagram pages.
Yeah, it's not really doing much. So we got to take some action and really just stop trying to like, we're doing these trends on everything. And you see, I saw like one of the Kardashians, I forget which one it was. I think it was Kylie or Kendall Jenner. Someone called them out like, oh, why aren't you using your platform? And she literally tweeted out, I did. And what she tweeted out was a picture of her doing a trend where you just see 50,000 words, nothing really promoting anything. And they're not using their platform. I don't know how many. There's obviously celebrities who are donating and who are using their voice and who are going to protest. But a lot of them aren't either. So we want to be able to help and donate and use it. I know we don't have much of a platform, but do everything
you know what?
we can.
Everything helps right now.
Exactly.
So if you like to cooperate with us, please comment on YouTube. Please screenshot, which you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any of your podcast platforms. We are available on all podcast platforms. So take a screenshot of yourself listening, tag the podcast, tag myself, tag Malcolm, whatever you want. We will both be donating $5 towards every comment screenshot that is posted. And hope that you know that you're doing yourself a good cause because we're, again, donating towards Black Lives Matter. So without further ado, I'm sure you want to send it off. So here you go. Send it off.
I was expecting you to, but thank you for listening, guys. And
take it away, Grand Master Flash.
Higher, baby. Get higher, baby.